Imagine standing on the edge of a great dark hole in the earth. It is a vast pit, deeper than you can see. The air is thick and heavy. It smells of damp soil and something else, something wild and ancient. A low, constant hissing sound rises from the darkness below. It is not one hiss, but thousands upon thousands, all layered together into a single terrifying whisper. This is a sound that speaks directly to your most basic instincts. It tells you to run, to get away, to survive. Your heart pounds in your chest, a frantic drumbeat against the steady hiss from the pit. As your eyes adjust to the gloom, you begin to see movement. It is not just movement, it is a living, breathing carpet of scales. A sea of snakes, all tangled together in a writhing mass. There are countless colors and patterns. You see the diamond shapes of rattlesnakes, their tails buzzing softly. You see the dark hoods of cobras, ready to strike. Vipers with their thick bodies and triangular heads are everywhere. The sheer number is overwhelming. We are talking about 75,000 venomous snakes, a number so large it is hard for the mind to grasp. It is a true nightmare brought to life. Every movement sends ripples through the entire group. A snake slithers over another, creating a wave of motion that spreads across the pit. They are a single, monstrous organism made of thousands of deadly individuals. Each one carries a potent cocktail of venom, a biological weapon perfected over millions of years. The potential for danger here is absolute. A single misstep, a single fall, would mean an instant and certain end. This is nature at its most raw and unforgiving, a place where humans are not at the top of the food chain. It is a powerful reminder of our own vulnerability. This image taps into a deep, primal fear. It is a fear that has been with humanity since our earliest days. We walk the earth alongside creatures like these. We learn to respect their power and to avoid them at all costs. Seeing so many of them in one place is more than just scary. It feels wrong. It is a concentration of danger that defies the natural order. It is a vision of chaos, a pit of certain doom. This is the kind of challenge where survival is not about skill or courage. It is about staying as far away as possible. The idea of a snake pit is not just a modern fear. It has been a part of human stories for a very long time. In ancient legends and historical tales, snake pits were used as a form of execution. Imagine being thrown into a hole filled with angry vipers. It was considered one of the most terrible ways to die. The Viking hero, Ragnar Lothbrok, is said to have met his end in a pit of snakes. These stories were told to show ultimate suffering and cruelty. They became powerful symbols of a truly awful fate, a punishment reserved for the most hated enemies. In movies and books, the snake pit is a classic trap. Think of adventure heroes trying to escape a perilous situation. Suddenly the floor gives way, and they find themselves in a chamber teeming with serpents. The hero, Indiana Jones, faced his fear of snakes in a tomb filled with them. These scenes are so effective because they play on our shared anxieties. The darkness, the hissing, the slithering bodies. It is a situation that feels completely hopeless. Fiction uses the snake pit to create maximum tension and to test the hero's limits in a very visual and scary way. But do these massive pits really exist in the wild? Yes and no. In some parts of the world, snakes gather in large numbers. For example, the Narcissi snake dens in Manitoba, Canada are famous. Every spring, tens of thousands of garter snakes come out of their winter dens. They form huge, writhing balls of snakes. It is an amazing sight. However, these garter snakes are mostly harmless to humans. They are not the deadly venomous creatures of our nightmares. It is a biological event, not a man-made death trap. These gatherings are for warmth and mating. So, the legendary pit of 75,000 venomous snakes is mostly a product of our imagination. Nature does create large snake gatherings, but not on that scale with dangerous species. Humans have historically used pits with snakes for punishment, but the numbers were likely much smaller. The idea of a giant, man-made pit filled with thousands of cobras and vipers is a combination of real biology and human storytelling. It takes a natural behavior and exaggerates it to create the ultimate symbol of terror. It is a blend of what is real and what we fear most. To understand why a snake pit is so terrifying, you have to understand the snakes themselves. Venomous snakes are incredible survivors. Their venom is a highly complex substance. It is not just one poison, it is a mix of different proteins and enzymes. Some venoms, called neurotoxins, attack the nervous system. They can cause paralysis, stopping your breathing and your heart. Cobras and mambas have this kind of venom. A bite can be incredibly fast-acting, your body's most basic functions just shut down. It is a frighteningly efficient weapon. Other snakes have different types of venom. Vipers and rattlesnakes often have hemotoxic venom. This type of venom attacks the blood and tissues. It can destroy red blood cells and cause problems with blood clotting. It can also cause massive swelling, extreme pain, and tissue death around the bite area. The effects can be devastating and long-lasting even if you survive. The snake delivers this venom through fangs, which are like hypodermic needles. They are designed for one purpose: to inject their deadly cocktail as quickly and deeply as possible. Snakes do not see humans as food. They are not hunting us. A bite is almost always a defensive action. A snake bites because it feels threatened and has no other way to escape. When you imagine a pit full of snakes, you are imagining a situation of maximum threat for them. They would be stressed, agitated, and coiled to strike at anything that enters their space. It would be a chaotic environment where every snake is on high alert. A single movement could trigger a chain reaction of defensive bites from all directions. There would be no safe place to stand. Survival in the wild is all about managing risk. You learn to read the environment and understand the animals you share it with. You respect their space. A venomous snake is a clear signal of danger. You see one, you give it a wide berth. A pit with 75,000 of them concentrates that danger to an impossible level. It removes any chance of risk management. It is not one snake you have to avoid, it is an entire army. The biological reality of venom makes the snake pit more than just a scary thought, it makes it a scientifically certain death sentence. Why are we so afraid of snakes? The fear goes deeper than just their venom. For millions of years, our ancestors evolved alongside dangerous reptiles. Humans who were quick to spot and avoid snakes were more likely to survive and have children. This created a natural built-in caution in our brains. Some scientists believe we are hardwired to detect snake-like patterns quickly. It is an ancient survival instinct that still exists within us today. Even if we have never seen a snake in our lives, the image of one can trigger a feeling of unease or fear. This deep-seated fear is reflected in our cultures and myths all over the world. In many stories, the serpent is a symbol of evil, chaos, and temptation. In the biblical story of Adam and Eve, a serpent tricks them into disobeying God. In many mythologies, heroes must fight giant serpents or dragons to prove their strength and goodness. The snake often represents the dark, hidden dangers of the world. It lives in the dirt and shadows, it moves silently, and it can kill with a single swift strike. It embodies the things we cannot control. However, the snake is not always a symbol of evil. In some cultures, it represents very different things. Because snakes shed their skin, they can be a symbol of rebirth, healing, and transformation. The rod of Asclepius, a staff with a snake wrapped around it, is still a symbol of medicine today. Some ancient cultures worshipped snake gods, seeing them as protectors of the earth and sources of wisdom. This shows how complex our relationship with these animals is. We see both death and life, danger and healing, in the form of the serpent. Our fear of a snake pit combines these powerful ideas. It takes the individual symbol of the snake and multiplies it thousands of times. If one snake is a symbol of hidden danger, a pit of them is a symbol of overwhelming chaos. It is a place where there is no hope of healing or rebirth, only death. The psychological impact is immense. It represents a loss of control, being consumed by a force of nature that is both ancient and deadly. It is the ultimate nightmare because it brings all our deepest fears about snakes into one inescapable place. So, could a pit of 75,000 venomous snakes actually exist? When you look at the biology, the answer is almost certainly no. This scenario is a fantasy, a nightmare that stays in our minds. First, you have the problem of resources. An enormous number of snakes would need an enormous amount of food. In the wild, animals spread out to find enough to eat. Putting so many predators in one small space would lead to starvation. They would also need water and specific temperatures to survive. A simple pit in the ground could not provide for such a massive population. Then there is the issue of the snakes themselves. Different species of venomous snakes come from different parts of the world. Cobras are from Asia and Africa. Rattlesnakes are from the Americas. Vipers are found in many places, but they all have specific habitats. You could not just throw them all together. They need different environments to thrive. More importantly, many venomous snakes like the king cobra actually eat other snakes. A pit filled with various species would quickly become a battleground. They would fight and kill each other. The logistics of creating such a pit are staggering. Imagine trying to capture 75,000 venomous snakes. It would be one of the most dangerous and difficult tasks imaginable. Then you would have to transport them and put them in the pit. The whole idea is impractical and serves no logical purpose. While nature creates temporary large groups of snakes for mating or hibernation, these are specific species in specific conditions. The nightmare pit of mixed, highly venomous snakes is a human invention, designed to be as scary as possible. In the end, the snake pit remains a powerful symbol. It represents our deepest fears made real. It is a vision of pure chaos, a situation where survival is impossible. It is powerful because it feels real, even though it is not. The fear it creates comes from a real place, our respect for the danger of a single venomous snake. The snake pit takes that real danger and amplifies it to a terrifying, mythical level. It is a reminder that some of the most frightening things we can imagine are born from the realities of the natural world. It is a nightmare, but one that will likely never crawl out of our imaginations.